What's going on, everybody out there in the LEGO community? In today's video, we're going to be reviewing none other than the Star Wars logo set. If you're not familiar with the information on this set, this is 75407. It is an 18 plus set with 700 pieces coming in at $59.99. Now, we're going to delve into the details of this set and what I think about it, but spoiler alert, if I was to actually grade sets on a point scale, this is a 10 out of 10. But yeah, let's get into the review. Now, putting some of the B-roll up on the screen so that you can see some of the detail that they put in the black background, I think is fantastic. Adding some details and some greebling to that, instead of just having the flat black panels, I think really does help to provide, again, some detail, but also help these Star Wars letters pop. Of course, that yellow color is so iconic. It just looks very, very good. Now, they didn't add any greebling to the Star Wars letters themselves, which I like that because, again, you're trying to see if you can mimic the logo, and the logo doesn't really have any kind of detail or texture to them, so that came out great. Now, when it does come to the build and the parts that they chose, they did a fantastic job bringing the letters to life in brick form. Now, when you're building, going through each individual step and instruction, you don't see it until you start to form the letters, and then you're like, oh, wow, this is pretty cool. I can see where this is actually going. Now, you can indeed separate the star from the wars, but you're not really going to want to do that because, again, the Star Wars logo looks the way that it is in the build. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of a spoiler in here, so I'm going to count down really quick from 10 so you have your chance to actually click forward or whatever. Maybe I'll put a timestamp in the description below so you can, basically fast forward through this part. But there is indeed a nice little Easter egg right here in the T. So, anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at the Easter egg. And look at that, such an iconic scene put into this build, the Star Destroyer facing the Tantive. Very, very cool. To an Easter egg. It's so cool to see something like that. I mean, again, once you put this together, you're probably never going to see it again. But I'm sure if anybody asked you about the Star Wars logo build itself, you can say, hey, check out this Easter egg. And here it is, which I think is very cool. When I initially saw this set being shown off, I heard a lot of feedback from people that they were wondering why there was no like minifigs that were included in this thing or nothing else. And to be honest with you, I don't think it really requires any minifigs. Now, this is my own personal opinion. I get it. People love minifigs, and so do I. But I think the way that this looks is just so iconic that it stands on its own. I don't think it needs really anything else to make this thing pop or to make this a desirable set. I mean, this is one of the sets that I saw, and I thought to myself, day one purchase, because again, there's so many ways that you can actually mock this into something else. And so I thought, well, this is going to be something I'm going to want to buy and I'm going to want to go ahead and mess with. So that being said, that's kind of the end of the review part. What I did want to do is to show you some of the things that I thought about on how to mock this up to kind of just give it that chef kiss kind of look to it. Now, sitting right here in front of the Star Wars logo, these builds over here to the left-hand side are going to be some of the small builds that you got in the 2024 Star Wars Advent Calendar. And then this one right here is the Millennium Falcon GWP that you got for buying a specific amount of Lego Star Wars sets on May the 1st. And it, kind of went on from May the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I think it was all the way up to like the 5th or the 6th that they still had a lot of these GWPs. All right. So, anyways, that being said, you can indeed mod the Star Wars sign if you're wanting to put a little more pop to it by adding, again, small builds like this, whether it be a Millennium Falcon or an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter or even the mini Millennium Falcon right there. You can indeed do that. Now, there also are some areas where you can add minifigs if you're wanting to do that, and it doesn't really require a ton of extra pieces, pieces that you have laying around to cover up certain areas so that, because whenever you remove panels, you may have to do a little bit of extra to cover those things up if you're wanting to add minifigs to, like, let's say the top part of the star or in the W of the wars or however you want to set this up. Now, another thing that I saw and I was like, this actually looks kind of cool, is maybe even turning the front of Star Wars into like a little bit of a mini mock. Sitting in front of it right now is the AT-AT mini build from, again, the Star Wars Lego Advent Calendar of 2024. And I don't know about you, but this actually looks pretty cool. Now, you could have the Star Wars logo in the back and then make a mini Hoth build in front. And to me, that just really pops. I think this is great. I think what this set does, it's iconic the way that it is, and I think it's perfect for the price and all of that good stuff. But what this also does is that allows for you to use your imagination on how you want to either change the setup or just display it the way that it is. And that's the cool thing about Lego, opening up your mind and giving you options and letting you kind of explore what you may want to do is one of the great things about Lego. If you found this review informative, do us a favor and go down there and hit this video with a like. If you want to see more content like this about Lego, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell. It just notifies you whenever we drop new content. Let us know in the comment section below. Did you purchase this set? How are you displaying it? Did you modify it at all? Let us know in those comments below. While you're out there looking for Lego, hunting for that perfect set for you, be safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.